Hi friends, welcome to Facts Life channel. Today I am gonna show you some interesting facts about Cadbury. Cadbury's is a British multinational confectionery company owned by Mondelez International. It is the second largest confectionery brand in the world after Mars. Cadbury is headquartered in Uxbridge, London, and operates in more than 50 countries worldwide. Its best-known products include dairy milk chocolate. Cadbury is a confectionery company that was founded in Birmingham, United Kingdom, in 1824 by John Cadbury. Cadbury is the world's second-largest confectionery company, after Wrigley's. John Cadbury established the company to sell tea and coffee along with chocolate beverages. In 1847 the company was renamed Cadbury Brothers when his brother Benjamin became John's partner. In 1861 John Cadbury's sons took over the business, but it was already in trouble. The brothers focused on chocolate instead of coffee and tea and it became profitable again. Dairy milk was introduced to the product line in 1905 and by 1914 was its best-selling product. George Cadbury bought 120 acres of land in 1893 and built a village for Cadbury workers and their families to live. Cadbury creme eggs were introduced to the market in 1923. The Cadbury Fruit and Nut Bar was released in 1928 and the Crunchy was introduced in 1929. In 1969 Cadbury merged with Schweppes to become Cadbury Schweppes. In 2007 the merger ended and the company split into two separate entities. Kraft purchased Cadbury in 2010 for $18.9 billion. In 2012 the confectionery portion of Kraft became Mondelez International. Every minute there are 250,000 Cadbury milk buttons made. That equals 400 million every day. There are 1.2 million Cadbury creme eggs made every 24 hours, as well as 5.5 million blocks of Cadbury dairy milk. When the company revealed in 2015 that they had changed the Cadbury creme egg recipe, the sales dropped by $6 million. Every year there are approximately 350 million dairy milk bars sold. Cadbury owned the purple color Pantone 2685C. Nestlé took over after winning a court case for the rights to the color. Cadbury is credited with being the first chocolatier to create the very first milk chocolate, and its first milk chocolate bar hit the market in 1897. Richard Cadbury, the founder's son, created the first heart-shaped candy box for Valentine's Day in 1861. Cadbury was the first company to close down on bank holidays to give employees a holiday. Queen Victoria gave Cadbury the first royal warrant in 1854, making them the official cocoa and chocolate makers to Her Majesty. Cadbury employs approximately 70,000 people worldwide in roughly 50 countries. Cadbury employs approximately 70,000 people worldwide in roughly 50 countries. During World War II Cadbury had to change their recipe and remove dairy milk from the shelves. They were not allowed to use fresh milk and had to use skim milk powder. The chocolate bar was called ration chocolate. Cadbury's Curly Wurly appeared on the market in 1970, along with Old Jamaica. Although the creme egg appeared in 1923, it is not the same as the creme egg on the market today. The current version hit the shelves in 1971. Some of Cadbury's products include the Dairy Milk Bar, Flake, Fudge, Twirl, Crunchy, Easter creme egg minis, advent calendars, Wheaties, Boost, and Fry's chocolate cream. In Canada Cadbury produces Maynard's label products such as wine gums, Swedish berries, and Sour Patch Kids. In 2008 the CEO of Cadbury earned more than £4 million in salary and bonuses. Cadbury, the global leader in the chocolate confectionery market, began in 1824 when a young Quaker named John Cadbury opened up a shop in Birmingham. John sold coffee, tea, drinking chocolate and cocoa at his shop. Believing that alcohol was a main cause of poverty, John hoped his products might serve as an alternative. He also sold hops and mustard. Like many Quakers, John had high-quality standards for all of his products. At that time in England, Quakers were prohibited from attending university, since it was affiliated with the established church, and their pacifist beliefs kept them from joining the military. With few opportunities available, Quakers often went into business-related fields and/or devoted their time to missions of social reform. By 1842 John was selling 11 kinds of cocoa and 16 kinds of drinking chocolate. Soon John's brother Benjamin joined the company to form Cadbury Brothers of Birmingham. The Cadbury Brothers opened an office in London and received a royal warrant, one of many, as manufacturers of chocolate and cocoa to Queen Victoria in 1854. 6 years later the brothers dissolved their partnership because of John's failing health and the death of his wife. They left the business to John's sons George and Richard. John devoted the rest of his life to social work and died in 1889. George and Richard continued to expand the product line, and by 1864, they were pulling a profit. Cadbury's Cocoa Essence, which was advertised as absolutely pure and therefore best, was an all-natural product made with pure cocoa butter and no starchy ingredients. Cocoa Essence was the beginning of chocolate as we know it today. The brothers soon moved their manufacturing operations to a larger facility 4 miles south of Birmingham. The factory and area became known as Bourneville. With Cadbury's continued success in chocolate, George and Richard stopped selling tea in 1873. Master confectioner Frederick Conchelman was appointed to share his recipe and production secrets with Cadbury workers. This resulted in Cadbury producing chocolate-covered nougats, bonbons délices, pistache, caramels, ovalines and more. Cadbury manufactured its first milk chocolate in 1897. 2 years later the Bourneville factory employed 2,600 people and Cadbury was incorporated as a limited company. During World War I, more than 2,000 of Cadbury's male employees joined the armed forces. Cadbury supported the war effort, sending warm clothing, books and chocolate to the soldiers. Cadbury supplemented the government allowances to the dependents of their workers. When the workers returned, they were able to return to work, take educational courses, and injured or ill employees were looked after in convalescent homes. During this period trade overseas increased, and Cadbury opened its first overseas factory near Hobart, Tasmania. The next year Cadbury merged with J.S. Fry & Sons, a past market leader in chocolate. Cadbury supported the war effort during World War II by converting parts of its factory into workrooms to manufacture equipment like milling machines for rifle factories and parts like pilot seats for Defiant fighter planes. Workers plowed football fields to grow crops, and the Cadbury St. John's ambulance unit helped people during air raids. Chocolate was considered essential for the armed forces and civilians. Rationing finally ended in 1949. In 1969 Cadbury merged with Schweppes to form Cadbury Schweppes. Schweppes was a well-known British brand that manufactured carbonated mineral water and soft drinks. The merged companies would go on to acquire Sunkist, Canada Dry, Typhoo and more. Schweppes Beverages was created, and the manufacture of Cadbury confectionery brands was licensed to Hershey. Today Cadbury Schweppes is the largest confectionery company in the world, employing more than 70,000 employees. In 2006 the company had over $15 billion in overall sales. In March of 2007, Cadbury Schweppes announced that it intends to separate its confectionery and beverage businesses. With almost 200 years in the business, Cadbury Schweppes will continue to prosper in the coming decades. Cadbury was the first company to include pictures instead of printed text on chocolate boxes. George Cadbury didn't want to take mothers away from their children, so he developed a company rule that women had to leave work when they got married. Each married woman was given a Bible and a carnation as wedding gifts. In 1886 Cadbury became one of the first firms to have dining rooms with kitchens and food for sale. Cadbury was the first company to include pictures instead of printed text on chocolate boxes. George Cadbury didn't want to take mothers away from their children, so he developed a company rule that women had to leave work when they got married. Each married woman was given a Bible and a carnation as wedding gifts. In 1886 Cadbury became one of the first firms to have dining rooms with kitchens and food for sale. A miniature metal animal, elephant, penguin, owl, fox, duck, squirrel, rabbit or turtle, was given away with specially designed cocoa tins in 1934. In the same year, Cadbury's tokens, which came with packs of cocoa, could be redeemed for lamps, kettles and saucepans. So many children joined Cadbury's Cocoa Cub Club that it had 300,000 members in 1936. Cadbury's World Visitor Center opened in 1990, welcoming 400,000 visitors in its first year. Cadbury launched a Get Active program in 2003, helping 10,000 teachers get in shape.